Lisbon is one of the oldest cities in Europe, steeped in some 3,000 years of history. Perched near the mouth of the Tagus River and the Atlantic Ocean, first it was a Phoenician trading settlement. In Roman times, it was called Olissipo and formed part of Lusitania, renowned for its horses. Later, it was invaded by the Vandals, the Alans, integrated into the kingdom of the Suebi, and finally into that of the Visigoths. The Muslims took it in 714, and from that era we have the Alfama quarter and the Alcazaba, or citadel, today the castle of St. George. In 1147, Alfonso Henriques I of Portugal managed to conquer it. In the battle, Martim Moniz was crushed while holding open one of the city gates. In 1195, St. Anthony of Padua was born there. In 1256, Alfonso II made it the capital of Portugal. After the death of Ferdinand I of Portugal, the kingdom passed to John I, King of Castilla. A conflict began that would pit the aristocrats and clergy of the north, supporters of the King of Castilla, against Lisbon merchants who backed John I of Portugal. After a victorious siege of Lisbon and at the Battle of Aljubarrota, John I of Castilla became King of Portugal. Expeditions, such as those by Vasco da Gama, who reached India in 1498, expanded Portuguese trade with the East and Africa. The Portuguese would establish settlements on the islands of Madeira and the Azores, and trade in sugar, cotton and indigo, and also slaves, made Lisbon one of the richest cities in the world. The monastery of the Jerónimos and the Belém Tower date from this era, and the Bairro Alto, or Upper District, was also built for the constantly burgeoning population. In 1580, Philip II of Spain was declared King of Portugal, based on the dynastic rights of his mother Isabel of Portugal. After decades of conflict between the Braganthos and the Habsburgs, the Lisbon Treaty was signed with Alfonso VI, recognizing Portugal's independence. In 1755, the Great Lisbon earthquake struck, followed by a tidal wave. The catastrophe led to the advent of modern Western seismology, promoted by the Marquis of Pombal, who was also the architect behind the city's reconstruction. The Jesuits, meanwhile, saw the catastrophe as a divine punishment, leading to a clash with pro-Enlightenment leaders that would result in their banishment. In 1807, Lisbon was occupied by Napoleonic troops, driving King John VI to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, which he declared the capital of Portugal. In 1808, English troops landed to fight against the French, for which they were granted great economic privileges that the Portuguese would recover in 1822 after the liberal Porto Revolution. In 1910, the Portuguese Republic was proclaimed. In 1926, the conservative right seized power and Antonio de Salazar established a dictatorship, ending with the Carnation Revolution in 1974. With its entry into the European Union, an era of modernization began in Portugal. And Expo 98 brought about a profound revamping of Lisbon. Today in Lisbon, we enjoy the melancholic music of its fados and its cuisine, rich in seafood and agricultural products, cod, cheese, magnificent wines. On the cable car, we can visit the Plaza del Comercio and the Castillo de San Jorge, offering magnificent views of the city, the Sé Cathedral, the Bairro Alto, and the chic Chiado area, the historic Alfama area, and the Cementerio dos Placeres, the cemetery where famous poets and writers rest. Not far from Lisbon, we have Cascais, Sintra, and Estoril, definitely places worth a visit.